No one ever remembers the middle child. Everyone knows the V8s, the VR6s, the Turbo 4s, but 5 cylinders, they are forgotten, except for one time. In the early 2000s, Volkswagen quietly stuffed a peculiar inline 5 into their most mundane cars. On paper, it was merely 150 horsepower, a commuter motor. But beneath the surface, it was a tank, with Lamborghini DNA in the head, Audi rally spirit coursing through its bloodline, and enough durability to survive 1,000 horsepower. This is the story of Volkswagen 07K, the 5-cylinder engine the company never wanted you to love. To understand why the 07K even exists, you have to rewind the clock. Back in the late 70s and the 80s, Audi built its reputation with 5 cylinders. The legendary Audi Quattro used a turbocharged 5-cylinder to absolutely dominate Group B rally racing, producing a sound so iconic that fans still recognize it decades later. 5 cylinders were always peculiar, not as balanced as an inline 6, not as simple as an inline 4, but they possessed undeniable character. The sound was utterly unique. The torque delivery was impressively strong. By the 1990s, however, Volkswagen Group's 5-cylinder engines faded from performance cars. Audi shifted to V6 engines and turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. The 5-cylinder became a relic of the past until Volkswagen dusted it off for the Euro 7K project. Why bring it back? Because Volkswagen needed something tough and emissions-friendly for North America, South America, and the Middle East markets. And instead of designing something completely new from scratch, they reached back into the parts bin, and the 5-cylinder was reborn for a new generation. The 07K was a 2.5-litre, 20-valve inline 5-cylinder with a cast iron block measuring 82.5 mm by 92.8 mm, an undersquare long-stroke design. Heavy, absolutely. But that weight made it virtually bomb-proof. Its 20-valve head featured variable intake valve timing for improved efficiency. And here is the kicker. Volkswagen used the same fundamental design as the Lamborghini Gallardo 510. That meant airflow potential was off the charts, even if Volkswagen never fully exploited it from the factory. Early BGP and BGQ versions produced 150 horsepower and 170 pound-feet of torque, while later CBTA and CBUA models bumped those numbers to 170 horsepower and 177 pound-feet. Nothing earth-shattering on the spec sheet, but here is the catch. It was massively overbuilt for its intended purpose. Volkswagen designed it to last forever in commuter cars, with thick cylinder walls that could handle serious boost, a forged crankshaft that could take tremendous abuse, and a head that desperately wanted more air than Volkswagen ever let it breathe from the factory. On paper, it appeared boring and uninspiring. In reality, it became one of Volkswagen's toughest motors ever produced. Stock internals could reliably handle 400 horsepower with proper tuning and boost. With built internals, enthusiasts started pushing deep into the 1,000 horsepower range without catastrophic failures. That made it an incredible swap candidate for all kinds of projects. Porsche 944s, BMW E30s, MK2 Golfs, even Nissan 300Z sexes ditching their problematic twin-turbo VG30s. Crazy, right? The engine nobody wanted was becoming the engine everyone needed. Aftermarket support only made it better over time. RS3 and TT RS parts bolt straight on with minimal modification. Bigger turbos, high-flow injectors, upgraded manifolds, even Lamborghini exhaust manifolds have been successfully adapted to fit. And the best part, it is incredibly cheap to acquire. Junkyard rabbits and Jettas with 07K engines sell for pennies on the dollar, making it one of the absolute best bang-for-buck engines out there for anyone looking to build something special on a budget. And then there is the sound, that distinctive offbeat 5-cylinder growl that turns heads everywhere. It gives budget builds the kind of character and soul that most turbo 4-cylinder engines just cannot match, no matter how much power they make. There is something visceral about that uneven firing order that resonates with enthusiasts. So why didn't the 07K ever get the respect it deserved from the beginning? First, it was stuck in boring cars, Jettas, Rabbits, Passats, no Halo models or special editions. Second, it was naturally aspirated from the factory. Volkswagen never turbocharged it in production form. 170 horsepower in a heavy Mark V Jetta? That's decidedly underwhelming for anyone expecting performance. Third, by the mid-2010s, Volkswagen replaced it in North America with the more modern EA888 Turbo 4. Enthusiasts quickly dismissed the 07K as nothing more than a forgettable commuter motor, completely missing its hidden potential. But today, the 07K has developed a devoted cult following among those in the know. Its Lamborghini-inspired head design, its bulletproof cast iron block, and its sheer tuning potential have made it one of the most respected junkyard heroes out there. The 07K never got a GTI badge, never received a performance trim package. It lived quietly in the shadows, doing its job without recognition. The irony is that Volkswagen built it as an economy engine, not a performance one. They never intended for it to become what it did. But like all great underdogs throughout automotive history, it was not remembered for what it was meant to be. It was remembered for what passionate people discovered it could become. The Volkswagen 07K proves that legends are not always born in exotic race cars. Sometimes they are hiding in plain sight under the hood of your neighbor's used Jetta. Cheap, overlooked, but with the heart of a Lamborghini and the toughness of a Cummins diesel. Greatness does not always come from exotic badges or flashy cars with big price tags. Sometimes it comes from the scrapyard, patiently waiting to be discovered by someone who sees the potential. And until next time, remember this: never underestimate the engines that look boring on paper. They might just have the heart of a legend beating beneath that cast iron exterior.